सप्ताश्वरथमारूढम् प्रचण्डं कश्यपात्मजं श्वेतपद्मधरं देवं तं सूर्यं प्रणमाम्यहम्.
Vishwamitra, Ram, and Lakshman. All three are walking on their way. Soon they reached a thick, dense forest. It is afternoon, but thick trees of the forest made the atmosphere so dark that not even a single ray of light could reach the ground. In the forest, wild animals are freely roaming here and there. The frightening noises of wild animals and birds could be heard. At certain places, the hissing of snakes and reptiles are also be heard. In this thick forest, Ram asked innocently,
"Why is the forest so horrifying, Guruji? Why there are no people here?"
Ram, it was not a forest earlier. This was a wealthy and prosperous state. But a man-eating monstrous named Dratika devastated the state. Dratika and her son Marich, both are man-eaters, and because of them, the human population of this state was finished. Gradually, the state was destroyed. After some time, a forest began to grow here, which is called Dandakaranya. It is believed that Dratika still lives here with her son Marich. Ram, both of them caused a lot of disturbance in my yajnas and other holy deeds. Kill Dratika and make your state prosperous again.
Sri Ram asks,
"But Guruji, killing a woman, it is not right. Killing a woman is believed to be a great offense, isn't it? Somehow it doesn't seem right."
Vishwamitra replied instantly,
Ram, for the welfare of mankind, it is right.
Then seeing Ram in a doubtful frame of mind, Vishwamitra again says,
Dratika is a monstrous in the guise of a woman, a monstrous. She has killed men, women, children, aged and sages. In such a situation, not killing her would be unfair and an injustice. Ram, being a prince, you are eligible to kill her. You are the only one who can kill her.
Ram understood Vishwamitra's words, and he began to tighten his bowstrings. Just then, they began to hear the sound of thunder. The sound of loud laughter could be heard.
Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha!
Though it was afternoon, the darkness gave the impression of night. After this, a female monster with a gigantic body stood across their way. Her white, long teeth came out of her mouth. Her eyes are blazing red, and there is a glimpse of demonic evil in them. Her nails are long and sharp like tiger claws. Sight of her is intimidating.
Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha!
Listening to her cruel laughter, even the birds flew away. On hearing her voice, even wild animals like lions and tigers would run and hide behind trees or hide inside their caves. Ram and Lakshman both are very brave men, but seeing the cruel, monstrous look of Dratika, even they stood amazed and pondered for a moment. Vishwamitra understood their condition, and he said,
Ram and Lakshman, this is the elusive monster. Her name is Dratika. She has killed all the innocent people traveling through this forest. She disguises herself as people or animals. Then she makes the travelers passing by the forest lose their way. Later she kills them and eats their flesh and drinks their blood.
Ha 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 ha!
You have seen her horrifying look, haven't you, Ram? As to how I should kill a woman, don't even bring that thought into your mind. Ram, kill her without any hesitation. For protecting innocent people and holy practices, Killing such a woman is not an offense against your religion.
While Vishwamitra was saying all this, the monstrous laughed loudly.
Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha!
And her mouth started watering, and her thirst for blood was kindled. With a loud thumping noise made by her heavy steps, she started running here and there. Due to her heavy steps, the clouds of dust rose higher. The earth started trembling. The atmosphere became dust-laden, and even she was not clearly visible to those three people. She started lifting big stones and threw it at them. Ram shot his arrows at her arms, and both her arms got detached from her body, and she became more furious and more destructive. And Lakshman came forward and shot his arrows, which pierced Radhika's nose and ears. As Lakshman did this, she disguised herself into several elusive forms. Seeing all this, Vishwamitra alerted Ram and said,
Ram, before the sun sets you will have to kill her, or otherwise during the night her powers will increase to a greater extent.
Ram took out the most powerful arrow and aimed it at Radhika's chest. There was a violent flash of lightning, and with a sudden scream, Radhika's horrifying body fell down and felt like a huge tree fell down with a loud bang. On Radhika's death, all the demigods felt happy. Seeing Ram's bravery and accurate archery, Vishwamitra held contentment. He hugged Ram and Lakshman and blessed them and patted them on their backs. Vishwamitra took Ram and Lakshman to Mithila, where the Swayamvar ceremony for Sita has to take place. Ram, Lakshman, and Vishwamitra. These three are present in Raja Janak assembly. Raja Janak welcomed them with great pleasure. Raja Janak himself came to the Swayamvar mandap to receive them. In that mandap, kings, princes, sages, saints, and many reputed people from the town are seated. Beautiful chandeliers were hanging from the ceiling. Melodious tunes were being played with various instruments. At the center of the mandap, the big bow of Lord Parashuram was placed. Looking towards the bow, Raja Janak said,
This is Lord Parashuram's bow. Lord Shankar has gifted this to Lord Parashuram. Once, Lord Parashuram came to me with this bow. That time, my daughter, little Sita, thought it to be a horse and started playing with it. On seeing this incident, Lord Parashuram suggested an idea for my daughter's wedding. He said, whoever will lift this bow and put an arrow to it, that person will marry my daughter.
After hearing Raja Janak's words, all the kings and princes present in the mandap became disappointed. They started thinking that how we lift this big bow. Everybody was thinking this and kept quiet. Seeing this, Raja Janak felt very much surprised.
What happened? Why is nobody coming forward?
On hearing this, Lanka's king Ravana got up and said in a thundering voice,
Why not? Ha 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 ha. The king of Lanka is here. I will put the arrow to this bow.
Ravana came forward and stood before the bow with his great ego. He examined the bow very carefully and tried to lift the bow with a single hand. But what is this? The bow was fixed at its place. Ravana became exhausted in his attempts. He again made another try. This time, he planned to lift the bow in any case. But there was a surprise, and he fell down in the attempt, and the blood started flowing out of his nose and he got injuries on several parts of his body. As he fell down, he started crying,
Save me, save me. Somebody please come forward and lift this bow from my body.
If the powerful Ravan was reduced to this, one can well imagine what the fate of the other kings in the assembly would be. Janak has a merciful thought. He ordered few kings to remove the bow from the body of Ravana. Ravana got up. Who will come forward now after seeing such a disgraceful fate of Ravana? Janak stood up at his place to say something. Before he starts to say anything, Vishwamitra ordered Ram to go forward and lift the bow. Rama got up immediately. He paid a salute to Vishwamitra and stood near the bow in great humility. First of all, he saluted the bow, and then within no time, he picked up the bow with great ease and started to put an arrow in it. What is this? The huge bow had broken into pieces with a great bang. It divided into two. Seeing Sri Ram's heroic act, all present in the assembly began to applaud him with great joy. Ravana felt very insulted. Raja Janak was overjoyed. Even Sita was smiling. She slowly came forward very modestly and offered her garland to Ram. Sita selected Ram as her husband. Ram also did the same and garlanded her.